Welcome to Anibros number 65. Today on the show, the bros examine love, Chunibyo, and other delusions. We find out that Willis has in fact been a Chunibyo this whole time, and we are really all a part of his weird roleplay fantasy. So sleep with a broadsword under your pillow because the Anibros are coming up next. Welcome to Anibros. We're the bros. I'm Laven.
And I'm Jack.
And oh, look at that.
What?
Is that William?
What is that? Did somebody else talk right now?
What the fuck are you guys doing now?
Whoa.
Hello. Who is this?
I don't know. I guess I'm just a mythical demon lord from the 7th circle of hell.
That sounds pretty serious.
How did you get in
I
here?
know. I mean, I've been brought here by Satan, raised by Lucifer. There are two different entities. I've been imbued with the dark powers of all the celestial beings, and now I have come here to enact my 50-year plan, as detailed by the star systems.
How much of that plan is your explanation? Because we are short on time tonight.
Well, you'll never know. It's top secret.
All right, we'll never know.
Willis, that's
Moving
his name.
on.
It's really Willis.
Every time we have Willis on the show, he insists on bringing up this crazy level of hell bullshit. Get it together, man.
That's just my life. That's who I am. That is who I am, and that is who I've created so that I can distance myself from the pain of my reality, of my world, of my life, of my dead dad.
I can see the listeners just dropping off like every second. We need to try something new.
All right, fine.
What have you been up to? What's going on with you, Willis? We haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah. All right. I mean,
Good answer.
What was your plan with that line of questioning, Laven? Like, you couldn't have known that was a good idea.
all right. No. Okay.
That's your fault halfway.
I just wanted to change the subject, but it didn't actually change.
No.
Well, all right, fine. I've just mostly been getting all my stuff done regarding school, and now I don't really know my plan going forward, other than part of it includes watching a lot more anime.
That's what I wanted to hear. That Japanese anime part.
Yeah, okay. Maybe video games. Maybe even learn how to drive a car for once.
Oh, you're going to get some lessons?
Maybe. And God willing, I get a job, but who gets jobs nowadays?
Not me.
The market's bouncing back.
Maybe there's room in it for me, hopefully. I mean, I gotta buy all my anime somehow.
Well, have you been pounding that pavement or what?
Well,
How many jobs per hour have you applied for?
I mean, I'll get working on it ASAP.
That means none.
Well, I mean, no one's hiring here. I need to go to a place where they actually are hiring.
Chinatown.
Have you ever been to Chinatown, Willis?
I would assume that it's compiled more of various Asian ethnicities than they are white people.
That's racist.
I was going to point out it's full of fried rice. I guess you can, be racist, but...
They fry that rice right up.
That's not at all the angle I was going for.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
I'm here to help.
I'm just saying
Don't mention
that city is a very...
All right.
Willis is a racist.
What are we doing to get the show back on track? Are we done? Did we do an introduction? Are we going to do that at the end? What are we doing?
I don't know. I can tell you what
Willis, if you don't
what our
know,
audience
just kind
should do.
of close your mouth.
I know what our audience
Stop
should
Shut
talking.
your
right now.
goddamn
They should
mouth.
go to AnyRosePodcast.com, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribe to our RSS feed, and go on iTunes. Send us emails, send us postcards, send us things.
Leave us a review in iTunes. Nobody's done that.
And they never will.
What?
Leave us a message in the comments. I'll talk to you. Laven probably won't.
Well, I look at the comments if there ever is one.
I will absolutely talk to you in the comments. Also, if you're meeting us due to me sharing stuff on Twitter regarding this place, hi. Also, and talk to me about that there. Or talk to these people on any of the other places I had already mentioned.
All right. Now, all that plugging did nothing for us because we have to say our Twitter handle is at Anibros Podcast.
Yeah, at AnyRosePodcast.
And you can email us. Okay, Willis, you gotta stop for 1 second. Just 1 second.
Okay.
That should be enough time to say what I need to say.
All right.
All right.
Jelly beans.
That's your fault again, Laven. Like, you gotta be real clear.
You can email us at anibrospodcast@gmail.com. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, then.
I'm gonna spin the wheel. Whoever it lands on is gonna tell me what they've been watching. Laven.
Okay. All right.
I spun it. It landed on Laven. I said Laven.
Yeah, so tell us.
I'm trying to.
Get with it.
I'm trying to think of what I actually saw. So you should probably spin the wheel again.
Okay, now it's Len Willis.
I did finally finish watching Gundam Double Zeta.
Finished it. Wow.
Yeah. Can I be completely honest with you guys?
No,
If you're completely brief,
I like it better than Zeta.
you just are not a good person anymore.
I'm sorry. I like it better than Zeta. I like it better than Char's counterattack. It just had a better flow. It had a better feel, and I actually cared about what was happening. Also, I could understand what was happening most of the time. I mean, I'll fight with Laven and anyone else who's a big Gundam fan about this. But I guess I'm on some crazy time limit, so I guess I better shut up now. That's about it. I'm trying to watch other stuff, but I haven't been able to get to it.
wow.
All right.
Double Zeta, best in the series.
Also, Monster, but I mean, that should go without saying.
Should it?
Well, it's awesome, and I don't know how many times I can say that every week.
What part are you at? Let me know.
I am on episode 40.
What town are they in, or like what character is happening right now?
They just finished an arc involving one of the old guy and his books and stuff.
The blind guy?
Yes. I mean, we'll talk about this more maybe in the future. Who knows?
All right.
But yeah, I'm roughly halfway through, so
So they didn't go to Czechoslovakia yet?
they're gearing up and ready to go.
Okay, so what's his face? Who's the main guy? I forgot already.
Tanaka.
Tenma. Tanaka. Is Dr. Tanaka still in Germany then?
I think so. I will be watching more at some point this week, so yeah.
Laven, did you think of your shows?
I did. It was only one show. I couldn't remember the title, and I was on the spot, and I couldn't do it. But now I can. It's Hyoka.
Good show, good show.
Yes.
It's good. I think I'm 7 episodes in.
Oh, so did you get to the end of the first arc?
Where they, yes, the student arc, or the student uncle,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
What's that tone of voice? Did you like the conclusion to that or not?
It was all right. No, I have no problems with the show. Yeah, I did get to the end of the arc, and that's where I stopped. So I don't know anything beyond that. So far, so good.
Yeah, even though that arc is good, it gets much better.
I could see it getting good as long as those characters are doing stuff. And frickin' main character McGee isn't being such a dumbass all the time.
You don't like him?
Not so far. He sucks.
He's eco-friendly.
He isn't, because he's a natural machine. So he should probably be doing more work.
He's gotta conserve that energy.
He probably should be making more carbon dioxide for the greenhouse effect.
So what you're saying is that this is yet another KyoAni show I have to watch, right?
Yes.
All right.
It's probably got the best visuals ever.
Definitely.
All right.
It's like what? No, I don't want to say this definitively, but it reminds me of something as good as Madogo Shinkai, almost.
No, but
Almost.
yeah, it's not real. Well, I guess it is.
The
pretty
fluidity of the
realistic.
animation isn't as good, but like just some static shots are like, wow, that is detailed. That looks nice.
Yeah, it's just really good. And even like, I guess, I don't know if there have been that many background characters yet, but in the festival arc, like, you know, the school is just crowded with students, and every single background character is like fully like designed by like a professional character designers or something. It's crazy.
Nice.
Good.
Okay then. What about you, Jack? What have you brought to the table?
I've just been, you know, sticking to the staples of anime, just slice of life, high school girls. I've been watching Is the Order a Rabbit, which is super hilarious,
Nice.
and Inugami-san to Nekoyama-san.
Wow, I didn't think you'd stick with that.
And why not?
I don't know. I just figured you'd get tired of it after a
Willis
while.
thinks you're a big quitter.
Wow. Okay.
No, well, that's the thing, is that I got tired of it.
You think I can't stick to like a 3-minute show?
I mean, after 4 episodes, I kind of just got sick of it. I was just like, all right, whatever. It's going to be this every single week. I don't care.
You obviously don't know me and how much I love comedy, high school girls, short shows.
Yeah, those are like his main. That's Jack, like defined as an anime.
Right. I forgot. I just figured that you would like drop off a bit more because it was like sorta kinda Yuri, but I guess you're still sticking with it.
Yeah, it's not like one of your Yuri dramas. This is played for laughs, you know?
Whatever. All right.
That's your opinion encapsulated.
Yeah.
If they're not making out nonstop, then you're not going to watch it.
No, that's fucking boring. They did that with Sakura Trick, and I hated that. That was so stupid.
You got tricked.
You're impossible to please.
No, that's not... Because, like, they need to actually... People are, like, not understanding why I like shows or stories in that genre. It's not because of, like, friggin' make out all the time. No, it's that, like, the stories themselves are just not interesting for the most part. It's just... They need to have an actual developed relationship and for me to actually care about what's happening. Don't just give me two girls making out. That's boring. It's stupid. And it's, like, honestly kind of exploitative and gross. Give me an actual story with characters first. And if they happen to be lesbians, okay. That's interesting and fine.
And if they're not?
Then whatever. It's still a good story. They don't have to be lesbians to be a good story.
But if they are?
Well, I mean, that's how you know it's a Yuri series, is basically it.
If it's Yuri or non-Yuri, which one do you like better?
I want whatever tells a better story to me.
What if it's the exact same story and the writer isn't finished yet and you could influence him like such as a ghost would? Would you make it Yuri or would you take out the Yuri?
I would have to know if it's part of their original plan.
No, wrong answer.
Well, that's the thing.
What if, such as a ghost, you could influence the writer from birth? Would you make him write Yuri or non-Yuri?
Well, it doesn't have to be a guy, but like...
Would you make her...
I mean, maybe.
Okay, all right, let's phrase it a different way.
At that point, I would just write it myself.
No, hold on, let's phrase it a
Laven,
different way.
please fix my question.
If there are two exact clone authors, right, and they're writing the exact same story, it's exactly the same up until one point, and one of them makes it a Yuri, and one of them does not. Which one are you going to like more?
Whichever one's better.
No. They're the exact same amount of goodness. One just contains Yuri, and one does
Well,
not.
at that diverging point, when, like, the story...
In one timeline, they kiss. In another one, they don't even interact with each other. Which timeline is your favorite timeline?
All right, well, I would be confused as to...
No, you wouldn't. You would just like it. Stop being
Well,
weird.
just
say the thing we want you to say. You want the Yuri show.
Well, I mean, you say that, like, when it diverges, like, then who knows what happens.
God
Just,
damn
like,
it. I don't know how to explain this in the way where it's just a simple, easy
Willis.
question. Would you rather X or Y? Come on.
You have
It's
a
not that
problem.
hard.
This is an intervention.
All right, well, I'm just trying to say that, like, they both would end up being different stories regardless, because
All right,
one pairing deals with different
No more.
drama, with different, like, issues to, like, tackle.
I'm not
and
even
the
asking
other has
anymore.
other stuff.
You
It's
can
like,
stop avoiding
There
it.
you go.
Okay.
The meter actually says we're at negative listeners right now. So let's move on.
All right, then.
Anyone got any news?
I have a piece of news, but I don't know if it's very radio-friendly news.
All right.
So I'm going to
Give it
try.
a shot.
I don't know how to say, like, continue or don't continue. That's just either say it or don't. Like,
Okay.
this is not the radio. We're okay.
I sent you guys
Okay.
a link, so maybe you can take a peek and let me know what you think and help
This-
me
this is
explain
just-
this.
All
This is
right.
just- let's
This
see,
is a lot
what are
of,
we-
like, other stuff.
This is just a picture of an old man's penis.
This is...
I mean, if
Why'd you send me this exactly?
if you have any
I don't
context,
know. I mean, I'm...
it's a Kill la Kill garage kit.
Yeah.
If you scroll down a little bit more, you see a Kill la Kill garage kit. It's Ryuko like sitting in a pose such as Akira, and she's got guts in her lap. She's got the scissor blade.
I'm not sure how this is unsafe for work.
I'm also not sure how this is news.
That's true, too. How is this news?
That's all I got. I wanted to show you guys.
He's like, there's a garage kit I want to buy. That's a pretty big piece of news in my
Who
life.
wouldn't want to buy this?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, I don't know if it counts as news.
Fine. What news do you have, Laven? You obviously have better news.
I do have better news. My piece of news is there's a box set that I want to have someday. I don't have a link. I'm not that prepared, but that's my news.
All right.
All right, well, I have actual news. Dragon Ball Z Kai is coming to Toonami in the fall. So when we were talking about Cooler's Revenge on Haruhi, we were saying like, oh, it's weird because like Dragon Ball Z is not even on Toonami anymore, and it turns out they're putting it back on anyway. So, I mean, it's the re-edited, remastered Kai version, but
it's been on TV for like a million years already, so it's not that crazy to assume that it could happen.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop's also apparently coming back.
It was gone.
That never has died.
Well, it was taken off as the thing, but I guess it just has a way of always continually being brought back to Adult Swim. It's like, we don't know what we'd do without it.
I don't think they ever lose the license.
Yeah, I was going to say, last time I checked the schedule, I thought it was airing.
Well, no, they did lose the license because Funimation bought it from Bandai, and then they had to renegotiate. And I guess they figured, yeah, because what else would you do without it? And so now that's back.
I thought like Toonami owned the movie or something.
No, Toonami owns all of it.
Oh, all of Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah. It used to be Bandai, but then they decided not to print the stuff anymore.
When did this happen? Are you talking about like a recent thing, or was this a long time ago?
That's what I wanted to ask. Like, when did it change hands to Funimation?
This was like a year ago.
That recently? I never heard about that.
Yeah. I mean, after Bandai said we're not going to be doing
anything ever again.
Yeah. And so basically, like last year or so, Funimation just like, a lot of companies, but mostly Funimation, announced that they were rescuing a lot of Bandai licenses, and one of those was the Cowboy Bebop, and now they have it.
Of course, yeah. I mean, who wouldn't do that? It's, the most well-known anime of all time.
Yeah, I know. Some kids these days don't.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they do.
Back in my day, Cowboy Bebop.
Also, they're making another Astro Boy anime. This is like the 4th version now. And apparently what they're doing differently for this one is that like the others have still been like adaptations of the manga in their own way, but apparently this one is going to be like its own original story now.
Who's making it?
Tezuka.
Well, he's dead.
No.
Rest in peace.
That's where you're wrong.
Let's see here. I don't have it on hand.
All right. Was
like
it
apparently it's like subcontracted out to someone else, like through Tezuka Productions, but I mean, I don't know what studio it is specifically.
Honk if you love robots.
Oh, it's apparently a collaboration between Shibuya Productions, Tezuka Productions, and Karibara Animation. I don't know who Karibara is.
He's probably outside honking his horn, trying to get your attention.
Oh my god, are you hearing that?
Loud and clear.
Great. Damn it.
Someone it sounds like someone's ringing an old-fashioned doorbell almost.
You should invite him in.
I could go out there and try to tell him to stop.
Yeah, you should do that.
turn the mic toward the door and leave it open and like yell at him.
Hey.
I mean, I don't know how I can. It's kind of my mic's kind of here in its
we can hear the
position.
horn honking. We could hear you yelling.
Oh yeah, just
All right.
stand at the door and just open the door and just yell at him from inside your house.
Well, it seems to have stopped now. If it starts up again, I'll probably do that.
Just be like, "Keep it down, sugar tits."
I'm trying to record an anime podcast.
Yeah, in that voice.
Stop. Stop honking.
We were just getting to who the favorite girl was.
I'm strong, sad. No, what were we getting to?
That's what I was thinking of.
So you think this is a floppy disk?
No, I don't.
But this is not a floppy.
No, stop. What? Talk more about the other thing.
I think
About
that's
what
it.
other thing?
That was the
Astro Boy. I kind of finished what I said.
he did.
All right, then that means we're done.
All right. Yeah, I can't think of any other news. Space Dandy Season 2. Yeah, we already knew that was happening.
That's amazing. I love Space Dandy.
I love Space Dandy.
He's a dandy guy in space.
Next season's gonna be intense.
That's my new thing I need to watch. That's right after Hyoka.
You need to get to it. Get with it, sir.
It's right after Hyoka. I just said I'm going to.
Good job.
All right, now what?
I don't know.
All right, then don't talk. Laven, what are we doing now?
This is a little segment I like to call Willis Watches a Girly Cartoon and Tells Us About It. This week on the podcast, we are listening to Willis talk about Chunibyo, or what's the full title? Jack, what's the full title?
Despite having Chunibyo, I Want Love. Or Love Chunibyo and Other Delusions. That's the localized title.
I like to call it Chunibyo, Kids, and Other Drugs.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We always start off by just saying, Willis, did you hate the show? What did you think about it?
How about we start off with a question I prepared for everybody?
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Okay, is the question, who's your favorite girl?
No.
Is that
Okay,
part two
then.
of the question?
No. Nope.
Okay.
All right, then.
If you were stranded on a desert island and you can only bring one thing out of this list, what would you bring? An eye patch, a hair clip, a pillow, a bag of sand, or a ladle? Laven, you answer first.
All right.
This sounds like a very thinly veiled...
This doesn't sound like Laven's voice.
Well, I mean, all right, whatever.
All right. I think I'm going to have to choose a ladle.
Okay, Willis.
I am good with none of them, really.
You're just going to refuse?
Yeah.
You're going to refuse getting a thing?
I don't need any of them.
On a stranded island, you don't want to have one thing?
I don't...
You and nothing else on this island. Stranded.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I don't need any of those things.
Okay.
They're not helpful in the slightest.
That's not a
Nor
good
are
answer.
they interesting.
Okay. I would choose the ladle as well.
Easily.
I'm so glad that your question was not who's your favorite girl.
Of
'Cause,
course
I mean,
not.
I could never... Like, this was far more interesting and not at all
Thanks.
like that at all.
Compliment received.
He didn't ask it at all.
Okay, what are we doing now?
Well, you also didn't mention anything about a heart sticker.
Or, okay, put that on the list. Does that affect your answer at all?
Yeah, still no.
Okay.
I think Willis hates this show.
And here's why.
Based on what I've just heard,
I don't hate it.
why don't you give us... I don't want to ask this, but
Then don't.
I kind of have to. Willis, why don't you give us a quick recap of what happens in this series?
Laven, I swear to God.
Why did... All right.
Well, do you have a better idea?
I mean, I figured you would be doing that because you're the one who's so enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, why don't you, Laven? What attracted you to the show in the first place? Just answer that question.
All right. After watching Orimo, I went on the old Anime News Network and clicked on similar titles to this show, and that was up there, so I clicked it. It wasn't the uppest one on there. There were several other shows that I wanted to watch instead, but at the time, I just wanted to watch something on Crunchyroll out of convenience, and that was the only one of like the few handful of things that I kind of wanted to watch that was actually on Crunchyroll. So that's what I chose.
Yeah, because I remember at the time you also asked me, like, I enjoyed Orimo. What else is like it? And I think I sent you Chunibyo, but I don't know if like that was before or after you found it on Anime News Network.
It was like at the exact same time. I was talking to you as I was like looking it up, and you said it, and then I saw it was similar on there too. So I was like, okay, whatever. I did find it on Crunchyroll.
And it looked appealing to you?
Sorta. It wasn't... I don't think I would have watched it on my own or picked it. If I hadn't already been in the mood to watch something like that, I would have not cared. But since I was, and I don't know, I would have just watched whatever at the time. So I watched it, and it was surprisingly good, I thought.
So how did it compare to your expectations then? Like, based on what you wanted out of it and what you actually got?
It wasn't as like engaging, I guess, or it didn't make me motivated to watch it as much as Orimo did, like episode by episode. Because I was watching that Orimo and saying like, I want to watch the next one and I want to know what happens next. This one, I was like, that was a good episode, but I could stop.
Okay, what about you, Willis? Expectations versus results.
I was expecting this to be a lot more like closer to Beyond the Boundary in terms of insufferability, but it turns out it kind of wasn't. It was more teetering on the edge of it, but not quite going off the deep end into just being like, I hate this.
That's how I describe it as well.
I think it's an okay show. there were parts of it and even episodes of it that I really liked, and others that were just like I didn't really much care for, and it all just sort of balanced out to be a more like I just felt very like when it was over, all I could think was like, all right, that's a show, I watched it and it's over. I don't really have very strong feelings towards anything in particular. It's not bad, but it's definitely not really my kind of thing.
Yeah, that's basically how I would describe it. While it was happening, like in front of my face on the TV, I liked it. Most of the time, it was not offending me. I was like, okay, this is fine. And then I thought the battles were funny and kind of cool, so.
They were kind of neat. If nothing else, I'm still stunned by just how high quality the animation is over at KyoAni. They're very fluid and very colorful and just, like, absolutely eye-popping.
They have the most Taiwanese slaves out of all the studios.
Actually, it's all in-house, and that's why it's actually all good.
You saying the Taiwanese aren't good at animation?
But they don't export their stuff to Taiwan. Like, it's all done in, like, you know, their studio.
I know that's not true because I know they own a Korean studio.
KyoAni?
Yeah, Studio Blue. They outsource their stuff specifically to that.
Maybe it's very little then, because I thought the reason that their animation was so smooth was they only use their in-house, and that way it saves time on shipping, but it's a lot of work because, you know, everything is key animation.
Well,
The Koreans can do good work.
yeah.
Not like the Taiwanese.
How much of it do they send to Brazil?
What?
About 50%.
Probably none of it.
None of it? Okay.
72%.
I don't think Brazil has very much of an animation industry, to be perfectly honest.
Let me make a note of that so I remember that.
Trust me, I actually look this stuff up in my free time.
Okay, I'll note that too.
Willis's search history. Is there animation in Brazil? Is there animation in Taiwan? Is there animation in Jamaica?
Is there animation on a train?
Is there animation on a bus?
Well, I'm sure there are markets for everywhere in the world. It's just that some are bigger than others and more useful to animating projects.
You know,
But
really, the title says it all. Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions. And my favorite part of the show was the Chunibyo and the Delusions. But a big part of the show was the love. And that part, you know, that's where it kind of lost me.
Yeah, it wasn't a very good romance story.
I didn't think so.
I kind of liked it for a bit because I think early on in the second season, I just started thinking to myself, this is one of the dorkiest romances ever. I actually kind of like it. But when it got more melodramatic and stuff, it wasn't really working.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. The second season, that's exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Like, again, it didn't do anything specifically wrong. It just wasn't all that solid.
No, not very solid at all, the second season. I mean,
Well, did you even watch the second season?
yeah.
Because I heard you stopped after the first and you didn't watch the second one.
No, I wouldn't review a show without watching half of it.
All right, fair enough. But I mean, I felt like that was also part of the first season too, like when they were doing the whole weird relationship thing.
Yeah, I especially did not like the last episode of the first season. I thought that really made me like, well, that was dumb.
Yeah.
And the Christmas OVA, that really made me not watch it as it was airing. Because I watched the first season as it was airing, and I was like, you know, I kind of liked it, kind of not. But I definitely watched it because that was the popular show of that season. And then I watched the OVA, which was nothing but romance and hardly any Chunibyo antics.
Maybe we should actually describe what the show is about. I forgot we kind of neglected to do that.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Who is confident in describing the show? Laven, I'm gonna ask you first.
I can describe it up to a point. How long ago did I watch this? Like 2 weeks ago or something? And I sort of marathoned it in 2 days, and I'm a little hazy on some of the details, but...
Just go ahead and give us the premise.
I can fill in the gaps if you need it.
All right, so I'm trying to even remember how, like the very beginning. That was the longest ago.
The main character, Utah, like the state.
All right, so like
Willis,
maybe I should just take over for this.
Maybe you shouldn't. The main character, Utah, you know, like the American state. He's from Utah. He moves to Japan. Back in Utah, he was a big dork. He thought he was the Dark Lord Master. He thought he was doing all these, I don't know if maybe you were that guy at high school, but
Not in high school.
or junior
Also,
high,
Utah?
Yeah, the American state of Utah.
I'm fairly certain he's not from Utah.
The great state of Utah, he says it.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I watched the dub, so maybe that's a localization.
The dub that doesn't exist.
But, he used to be the Hot Topic kid. And
Yeah,
getting way too up there.
there's this kid who's, I guess this is a thing in Japan.
Are you interrupting
sort of,
me to just repeat my sentence, or are you going
to actually describe it without being weird about it?
What? How is he being weird?
He's throwing in weird localization things that don't exist.
I didn't.
Is
no,
that
I
worth
was
just
following 100%.
derailing me?
Whatever. And go on with your with your
anyway.
little story then.
So he's embarrassed, but he finally gets out of that phase, So he begs his mom. He's like, "Mom, can we move to Japan and can I go to a new high school so where nobody will know me?" So
they were already in Japan.
he goes to school. He moved to Japan.
He was always there. He just moved to a different city.
In Japan, he goes to high school and he says, "This school is cool. Like all the girls are hot. I got this cool wingman sitting behind me." But while he's hanging out on the balcony or something, doesn't he he's like, "Yeah, I think I'll celebrate by acting like a weirdo."
Is that what he does? I'm trying to remember how he meets the girl in the first place.
No, he's saying like, all right, now I'm starting over with a new high school life. I'm not gonna have this weird middle school syndrome kind of thing going on anymore. And so he just sort of indulges in it for a little bit, but then he's just like, yeah, see, like that is going away. That's like done for good. But then like she sees him, like the girl,
Rika.
this girl,
Tanaka sees him, and he
I'm pretty
falls
sure
in love with
that's
him.
not her name. But yeah, she has an eye patch on,
She's
and
a
she
high school
believes that she is the incarnate of a demon or something
Asuka.
called the Wicked Lord of Shingon or something. And she says that she has like a magic eye and everything. But
And she just found a friend.
yeah. Wait.
She says, "This guy, this Dark Flame Master, is gonna be my pal." And obviously hijinks ensue.
Yeah, for a while.
They basically get together with a bunch of weird kids who believe that they have superpowers and stuff. And
They start a high school club, Laven's favorite.
I basically wrote in to the author and said, "Can you please make it so that these guys somehow form a club?"
Where you do nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the club even is. They just have to do it and sign off with an advisor. That has to be part of the episode. And they're like, "Well, if you clean up the middle of the dusty old gym, then you can have a club."
Now, what was Hairclip's name?
I do believe her name was
Tadabanre.
I do remember that her handle back when she suffered Chunibyo was
Tanaka.
Mori Summer.
Of course, everybody's read that book. Do you guys really not know? Do I have to look it up?
There's Tanaka.
Well, what's her
No, it
given
was-
name?
Fine, Tanaka Sensei.
I remember her
Tanaka
weird
Sensei.
villain girlfriend was Deka Mori.
Okay, that's
But-
not the one I was asking.
Yeah, I know that. Friggin'
Nibutani.
Nibuta. Yeah, that's right.
She pretends like she's all cool. Well, actually, she is all cool. Like, she grew out of it, but she's basically a giant jerk to anybody and everybody. Laven, what did you think of this character? Because it seems like the kind of character you like, but also she seems insufferable.
Yeah, all right. Rigatoni was my favorite.
Was your favorite?
No, she wasn't my favorite. But she was close. I had to think about it pretty hard.
Even during the episodes like where she's just constantly yelling at them and like being mean to them.
They were all dumb, so I was agreeing with her most of the time.
Okay.
But Rigatoni was a good character. I didn't have any problems with her mostly.
Now, Willis, Rigatoni or Rika? Whose side do you choose? Do you choose the fun Chunibyo times or the you guys are stupid and idiots and I hate you?
For a lot of the show, it was her side, and then it switched over to Rika. And then at the end, I didn't care anymore because, like, they both have their strengths and weaknesses in choosing those sides, and I'm gonna decide to not side with anyone. Like, I don't have a favorite girl whatsoever in this
Okay.
entire.
Yeah, it's
So-
not a personal or favorite thing. It's just like watching the show. Which message did you take away?
Right. Well, the first season was all about. Oh, well, I guess the second season was too. I was getting a little annoyed with like all the Chunibyo stuff, but then when they started trying to be normal, I think I was also like starting to be like, oh, actually, on second thought, this is kind of weird how very bland and boring this all is.
That's why they introduced the villain.
Yeah, I still feel like they probably took it a little too far, like because they still are in that mode where like they like it feels like they legitimately believe that a bit too much. Like they don't make it just a thing that like they indulge in and play around in every once in a while. It feels like that's just who they are as people
Lots of Chunibyo.
on a constant basis. But that was really annoying to me.
Yeah, to everyone else too in that entire world. That's why they all make fun of him.
Yeah, I know. Like, I feel like that's just the kind of thing that, like, when you need to actually, like, live life like a normal person, like, and, like, take care of, like, normal people things, you should probably start thinking, like, all right, well, this is me as a normal human being. And then when you're just with friends goofing off, that's when you can start pretending you're a weird servant of the underworld who's following the teachings of a book that was written by a middle schooler and posted online.
Is that what you do?
Inspiring. What would you guys say is the conflict of the show?
I think it is that, like, trying to balance who it's trying to, like,
In a more specific sense, because I can't remember. It's been the longest since I've seen it. Wasn't it like Rika having to live with her grandparents or something?
you mean like the actual extant
The specific
real conflict.
Yeah.
Like not the overarching conflict of the story.
Not a vague thing, no.
Well, I mean that can be a conflict too.
It can, but I'm asking for specifics.
Well, I think it was definitely more that vague conflict than
Okay,
it was
but just
the
from-
other thing. Because that only happened in like the last episode or two.
I can't remember. I'm just asking for myself because I do not know.
It was like her moving with her grandparents, but that was again like the last episode. It was only for the first season, the last episode of the first
Okay.
season, that was the conflict.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, season 2 is something completely different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was still just like trying to find that balance between like, do you want to live like this weird pretend life, or do you want to like live like a normal human being? There are some parts of your life that you can't continue to live like you have superpowers when you really don't. And then but like those more normal parts of your life, like falling in love and stuff, can be interesting and exciting in their own way. It's just that also comes with needing to live in a world that doesn't really have all this supernatural crazy stuff. And it's just about this girl trying to figure out what she wants more. And I guess they just sort of chicken out and sort of say, you can have both,
Yep.
basically.
Love and Chunibyo.
That's how it turns out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not in the second season, though, where it's all about Sanaka.
No, that's exactly what happens, is that they still end up choosing both.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Poor Sanaka.
Tanaka is poor.
The friggin' last episode was like the most annoying thing ever.
Most of
That's
them.
what I thought.
The entire point of the episode is like, you gotta kiss. And like,
And they don't even. Like what the heck?
You two haven't even kissed yet, and they don't even. Like, they get interrupted like 8 times, and then it's like, you know what? Well, I'm exaggerating. It was like 3.
Basically, yeah. Closer
It was
to 3.
like 8. Come on.
I can see how it was like,
Yeah, and at the end, they decided we're not even gonna, and just be like,
what a jip.
whatever.
It was pretty frustrating.
It was.
Cats got kittens. It's more important.
Oh, yeah, that freaking cat. God, the whole just. Oh, my God.
What is it with anime and cats? Like, they just put them in there, call them Nakos. I don't get it.
I don't even want to see another kitten again.
If I see another kitten again, I'm going to punch someone.
Jesus.
Whoever I'm with.
God, guys.
You better not be with me when I see a cat. I'm telling you that right now.
I mean, I don't even care that much. I mean, if the cat's there, it's a cat.
Would you punch a cat for $20,000?
No.
You wouldn't punch a cat. Okay, hold on. Does it have to be full strength punch, like you're trying to kill a cat?
Yeah, that is an actual legitimate question. Is it like lethal force? an intent.
Listen, none of your punches are lethal force. Let me tell you that right now. Answer that question for
okay,
you.
all right, but like,
Maybe not Willis's punches.
are we going at like full capacity of punching ability?
Have you ever punched somebody before? Like, what is your full capacity? Like, you're not going to be putting this cat in any kind of hospital.
I beg to differ. Depending on the cat, it could very easily die.
Depends on the hospital,
How
too.
many cats have you punched, Willis?
0. That's my point.
I knew a guy one time, he put a cat in a microwave.
Jesus.
Yeah, you got made fun of
Guys,
every year.
Should I be reporting things about animal cruelty?
No, we should be talking about this show. Maybe even wrapping it up.
Did you punch a cat for $20,000? You never answered.
The answer is no. I said that already.
It was easy money. You could have had it. It could have been yours. What am I going to do with this $20,000 now?
Cat's going to
I
forgive
don't know.
you.
Donate it to charity. Donate it to an animal hospital so that you can donate to the anti-punching cats fund.
Maybe I'll just ask the next person, and then they'll probably say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
God, almost as bad as freaking sandbags
Tanaka.
and Tanaka.
And freaking Rigatoni.
God,
And friggin' Sleepyhead Magoo.
she wasn't bad.
I don't know who that is. What are you talking about?
You know, Sleepyhead Magoo. She was just like, let's make this a napping society as well as a magic society because I like napping.
She was okay.
She's third best.
Did you guys know that she is an anime original character? She wasn't even in the original light novels.
Yeah, did you know that so was Dekomori?
What the hell happened in these light novels, though? Like, nothing?
Yeah, here's the thing. Apparently, the stories are completely different. That's what happens when you only have 3 light novels to work with when you're making your 2-season show. You kind of have to make up a lot of stuff.
Like the samurai? Oh my god. Can't freaking just add that in the middle of the season.
Actually, the first season, like, they only had 1 volume, I think.
Yeah, they did.
So, clearly not enough to work with. 200 pages, not enough to fill an entire season.
Just making things up left and right.
All day.
This was the beginning of new KyoAni, where
It's pretty
they had to
infuriating.
make stuff up.
As you know, I've been a proponent of KyoAni all these years, and I got really upset when they did this.
What specifically were you upset at? Especially like, like compare season 2 to season 1, Laven.
It had a different tone completely. I didn't think that it was as well done.
Actually, I feel like it had very much the same tone.
No, definitely not. I don't know what you were watching.
This was exactly more of the same.
It just started to degrade.
It was the exact same thing I'd gotten used to seeing.
Listen,
in the first
after season 1, when shit hits the fan, so to speak, because they break her of her Chunibyo for a bit,
Yeah.
it's not the same. It's like now it's this dumb world where they kind of know the boundaries and they're just being dumb middle school, high school kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they come back to just goofing off and being crazy.
Yeah, but you
whatever,
know, and they
supernatural
know,
things.
and that it's been broken before once, so it's different now.
It is a little bit different, especially with, everyone around them reacting differently, the teacher and such.
It doesn't even need to. Well, the teacher, I mean, she was pretty crazy in the first place.
I feel like a lot of the outssiders just sort of accepted it as being a thing they just do. I don't know. It still felt like the exact same thing as before. It just was more of it.
Laven, what was a high moment for you in the show?
I really like the Christmas episode. I like that they finally go back to Utah, and they just really explore their roots.
All right.
Yeah,
That wasn't
and
bad.
they used to go out on the boat in Utah.
Oh, yeah?
There's no boat, Willis. Come on. It's Utah. They go visit their Mormon cousins, and they're like, I'm glad I left because it's so shitty here.
When they're fighting in the classroom, I thought they were going to get detention.
Yeah, me too. That's pretty dangerous.
I don't even remember that being a thing that happened.
Didn't they have a little classroom breakout or whatever you call it?
Like a prison break? Classroom
Breakdown.
Break it down?
I can't remember this being a thing that happened at all.
Didn't Rika have a little breakdown and start crying and take off her eye patch?
Yeah. And then they made her clean all of the classrooms, with the
Clean,
traditional way,
I think,
where you had
yeah.
to put the rag on the floor and run,
Perhaps, yeah. Yeah, I remember them cleaning.
I don't
because there's real
remember.
moe with her eye patch and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember it.
I do not remember this at all.
No, you don't? Maybe.
No. What the hell happened so that I do not remember ever seeing Rika ever doing the running to clean floors thing.
Maybe it wasn't the running to clean forest thing, but something was cleaned. right?
Yeah.
Because she was crying and she was being punished for what?
Maybe. Wait, what episode had the samurai?
I don't even remember there being a samurai. Oh, the little girl samurai.
Yeah, the little girl
it was-
samurai.
Oh, that wasn't a classroom. They were at the beach.
The beach. That's, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the beach.
With, old...
Do they clean the beach?
No.
Where do they clean it?
I think the lifeguard might have been named... no, I think he looked like Mr. Clean, right?
He looked like Mr. Clean?
Maybe.
So there's a bald lifeguard at the beach?
What the hell happened? What is the show we're talking about now?
It's Chunibyo, man. It's what we're reviewing right now.
It's been so long since I saw season 2, especially, like, maybe, like, a couple years ago or so.
Season 2 happened literally, like, earlier this year.
This year?
Yes. It was in January when it started airing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I can't recommend watching this Chunibyo show.
You didn't ask me my favorite episode, but that's okay.
Willis, what was your favorite episode of this entire series?
I would have to say
And that's all we have time for.
that would probably be the fake Maury Summer episode, honestly. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, I can't really say it's great either. What about your thoughts, Laven?
Basically, I have the same consensus as you guys. It's like, it was fine watching it, but I don't know if I'd recommend it, or I don't know if I'd ever care to talk about it ever again.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those shows.
But it wasn't like so bad to where I'm like, that sucked. I was just like,
It was on the edge, though. It was towing the line.
It's just sort of at that sort of line.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Anyway, my final question. This will bring us home.
Okay.
What if, who is the director of the show?
Tanaka.
Okay, what if Tanaka, he was making this show, right? And then the OVAs could have lesbians.
Who
You can
is
influence
Tanaka?
He created Chunibyo. He's the inventor of anime, Willis.
What if at the end of season 2, instead of Rico and Utah going out, it was Rico and Rigatoni? Is that what you're trying to ask, Laven?
Well, kind of that, but I mean, it's half that, and then half, what if Rico and Rigatoni ended up together?
Well, first of all, they were already teasing Rigatoni and hairballs. But
What if Sleepy McGee and Rigatoni got together and made a fabulous Italian dish?
I would have to put some Prego on it and some salt. Lots of salt and cheese and see how well it turned out.
That is a more acceptable answer than before.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I guess so.
Buy it on Blu-ray today.
Buy it on Laserdisc.
Or don't.
I-
Actually, no.
You
Don't.
can't.
Or don't. Just pretend it doesn't exist.
Season 2 probably came out on Laserdisc.
Laven, did you even watch season 2?
Of course. Why would I review something if I hadn't watched the whole thing?
Alright. Just making sure. I think I figured you out. I think you're a method actor who's training for the role of an insane person.
Well, I mean, I won't have to try very hard to get that.
Not after this years of training.
Yeah, the past 22 years have been nothing but me wanting one role in my life.
You're gonna nail that audition.
Yeah.
You're gonna take one look at
22
you.
years from now, it's like,
They're gonna see the Prego just rolling out of your pockets, and they're gonna be this guy.
Prego.
He's playing the role of Pitor Spaghetti in his biography.
Oh, that's the creator of spaghetti. He's no laughing matter. He's a famous person.
Way to sell it, Laven.
Did you even watch season 2?
No.
Yeah, me neither.